the bill does three things, one of which we're good with, two of which we're opposed to. We want the miners to share more information with ERCOT. The miners want to share more information, and ERCOT wants it. So that's great. We're going to make that happen. 1751, the two things that it does that we're not supportive of, we don't think the state legislature should be taking away a county's ability to give tax incentives to draw jobs in, especially targeting it at just one industry.
I wanted to touch on, I know your team, you're working together right now with the Don't Mess with Texas Innovation, which is really, I know you said recently you all had a, I want to say you were, I'm not sure if you were in Rockdale, Texas, but you had mentioned in a recent interview that they voted unanimously on Bill 1751, which is pretty much states that they're against any type of anti-Bitcoin mining, and it's really just trying to help be able to keep those incentives or keep the benefits that miners have currently right now when it comes to this Senate bill that's trying to get passed. Can you just talk about, what are some of the main takeaways in the Senate bill, and also what you all are doing with the Don't Mess with Texas Innovation?
Sure thing. Yeah, the bill does three things, one of which we're good with, two of which we're opposed to. The first that we're good with is it requires all miners to register as large flexible loads with ERCOT. We're happy to do that. We work with ERCOT on a daily basis through the Large Flexible Load Task Force. We want the miners to share more information with ERCOT. The miners want to share more information, and ERCOT wants it. So that's great. We're going to make that happen. There's another bill that is Senate Bill 1929 that just has that piece in it. ERCOT kind of helped to craft that bill. That's the bill that we're saying, hey, yeah, we support that. We want more communication. Now, 1751, the two things that it does that we're not supportive of is, one, it takes away the Chapter 312 local tax incentives, local and county tax incentives. We don't think the state legislature should be taking away a county's ability to give tax incentives to draw jobs in, especially targeting it at just one industry. So those tax incentives would still be available for any other industry. So it's a strange anti-Texas, anti-free market, situation. The other that is even more concerning is pulling Bitcoin miners out of ancillary services, like those grid balancing services that we talked about.
That's crazy.
So they're saying, well, why would we pay you to do something that you're going to do anyways, that you're going to turn off anyways? What they're not understanding is there's two situations here. Either the miners are not in ancillary services and they're going to turn off when prices get high. They're not getting paid in that situation. They're just turning off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So, in the other situation, ERCOT is paying them for the right to turn them off whenever ERCOT wants them to. And in that situation, they can't turn off until ERCOT tells them to. So the legislators are kind of, they're taking these two concepts and taking the worst of both and thinking that they're happening at the same time, when in reality, it's two different situations. So they're really not fully grasping what's happening in these ancillary services markets. They're also not fully grasping, or maybe they are, but we don't think they are. We think this is sort of an unknown side effect that would happen if this bill would be passed, is prices would go up for ancillary services, because you have fewer bidders, the supply of bidders go down, demand stays the same, price is going to go up.
Yep.
And that's just simple economics.
Yeah, simple supply and demand dynamics. And yeah, that's a big difference there, where you talk about how with those auxiliary services, if they're not a part of those auxiliary services, they're not being compensated to shut off. Is that what you're saying? And then if they are participating with ERCOT, which is the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, when they are a part of these programs, they are compensated if they decide that they have to they give them direction on when to cut off. And
the key there is ERCOT decides.
Okay, ERCOT, okay.
If the miner, and these ancillary services are procured on a day-ahead basis. So a miner could be in it one day and out of it the next.
Okay.
But if a miner is in it, they stay on, even if the price of power goes beyond their break-even point. They just stay there waiting for ERCOT to dispatch them. And if ERCOT dispatches them, then they curtail. So really, they're getting paid for ERCOT to give up their right to turn off when they want to turn off. And if they're not in it, they're not getting paid. And they just turn off because they don't want to be mining Bitcoin when power prices are 20 cents a kilowatt hour.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I just think the ability for miners to be able to curtail their energy consumption, I mean, we've never seen anything like this. And I think that's the beautiful aspect of the network. Like you said, the free market elements where it's able to be able to know when it's time to either power down and be able to create more flexibility with the energy load on the grid. And it's just amazing to see how just the growth of the network. And it's just kind of crazy how sometimes a lot of mainstream media, they make it seem like energy is a bad thing. And when I think about it, when I think about airplanes, railroads, cars, refrigerators in our home, washers and dryers, you're going to get a specific output for the energy that you put in. So a lot of these technologies advance society because it allows us to be able to get to places faster or to be able to have more comfortability in our home when it comes to washing clothes or keeping our food preserved.
Hey, it's Amy. Click over here to subscribe, click over here for more content, and we'll see you next time.